The name of the lake is where the willows touch the water, not Onondaga. Our people had drifted away from all that instruction of peace, and there was a violent war taking place right across where we sit now. The peacemaker established our whole process of peace. It gave us everything. I'm planting this great tree of peace here, the great white pine, the weapons of war underneath. The English name is Oren Lyons, the Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I'm 93 now, and I was born in 1930. So I've seen a lot of change. And in '77, we went to Geneva, Switzerland. We got into the UN, and we got to be speakers in there. And we said, well, how do we announce ourselves when we go? Can't use Indian, we're not Indians, that's from India, you know. And you can't use our name because everybody had a different name. So we had a long discussion on it, went through all the words, and we decided finally on indigenous. So when we went to Geneva, we announced ourselves, and I was the speaker. And I said, we are the indigenous peoples of the Western Hemisphere. That's where the word indigenous comes from. That's our decision.
I think that it is kind of unknown what actually an indigenous person is, besides like its definition of someone being like from that land. But I think that our presence is like ignored and treated as something that's old and ancient.
I went to the chancellor way back. We asked him about the Saltine Boyer, because we had this guy all dressed up in some kind of Indian I don't know what it was. He'd run around out there like an idiot. And we went to him, and he said, we didn't think that's a good idea. And he said, I agree with you. We're not mascots to anybody. Nobody. And no human is a mascot anywhere.
What it was doing was perpetuating stereotypes. We shouldn't do that.
Well, Nottingham SU still calling for change on campus.
Syracuse University students back occupying Crouse-Hines Hall.
Our top news story from SU, where more than 24 students organized another protest on campus. It started Monday afternoon.
That's the group of protesters at Syracuse University speaking out after a string of racist incidents.
Our students joined. You know, the indigenous students joined, the black students and the Asian students and the Latino students in the movement, you know, to make change. We were the support for our few indigenous students. A lot of work and a long time coming. We had the students. The students originally began the writing, the land acknowledgement, and what they wanted to give it more context instead of just a statement that is said before all big events. So that was the purpose, was to give it more context so that people understood that Syracuse University is on the ancestral lands of the Onondaga, and just passing on that honor and that respect for the indigenous people. Brandon's artwork and the installment, you know, on campus is what gives it context.
Me and the native students at Syracuse University, we all collaborated, and we decided to plant a tree with 6 bollards around it, which would represent one of the 6 nations, with branches that kind of wrapped around it and hugged them to show the unity of the 6 nations.
I think it's important, and it shows a lot of symbolism towards our community. But I also feel like there is more relevance with the people that show up who do represent our community and are more present on campus, that we are present.
I think it makes them feel more part of Syracuse University because they do face challenges, adversary, and a big part of that is we're unique people, and we have a different way of life and priorities and values. And I told the students all the time, I said, you're unique, you belong here, and don't let anybody make you feel that you don't.
Peace is the message. It's world peace. It's not disarmament, or not, it's total barrier to weapons. That's peace.